What's up, everyone? Just want to share a couple of announcements. Coming this Sunday, December 4th, the holiday brunch market at Shepherd Street Tavern will be going down from 12 to 4 p.m. So mark your calendars, your planners, spread the word. Come on by with your friends and fam, do some last minute Christmas shopping, maybe grab a cold brew. Come on by, chit chat. I got some new items that I'm going to be selling there, as well as other original artwork, prints, sketch cards, stickers. So yeah, hope to see you guys come on out, especially if you're in the RVA area. Recently, some new art exhibits had opened at Artworks Studios and will be up until January 20th. Now, I have two pieces that are currently involved in the small works, and I'm very happy that one of them received an honorable mention. Yeah, if you're in the area, please stop on by, check out all of the wonderful art pieces that are currently displayed, and yeah, just keep spreading the love and support for our local artists. All right, and that's about it. Let's get to the show. Thinking, what if all these different UFOs that people are seeing all around the world, what if all the different UFOs were just different versions of the human species, depending on which form of technology they evolved and integrated with? What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Rated G. I'm your host, G. Derado. If you are new here, welcome to the show. This is generally an art podcast where we discuss all things art and creativity, and I often feature local artists. And while promoting them, we have honest discussions and conversations about our passions in the creative world, as well as other things in life. So if you enjoy this type of content, please be sure to like, subscribe, especially if you want to support the podcast or if you want to support my channel. I will leave links in the show descriptions in case you want to come follow me outside the podcast, outside YouTube. I will have my social media and the information below, and I always share links for our featured guests. All right, and yeah, so like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. That way you can keep up with all the current uploads. And yeah, and for those who are tuning back in, welcome back to the show, and thank you for your continued support. Now, if you haven't noticed, judging by the title, we will be getting into some of the UFO talk, because with just technology and upgrading and advancing, it's being put out there how more sightings are happening with this with the new technology, with the military and all that. And it just seems they keep popping up, whether it's people's cell phones or whatever. So are they out there? Are we alone? Let's reverse that. Are we alone? Are they out there? Who knows? Is it all just fake bullshit just to distract us from all the real issues? Who fucking knows? But needless to say, it's interesting. But actually, before we get into UFO talk, I thought I'd just do a quick little recap on this past weekend, because it was Thanksgiving weekend. So I hope everyone was able to enjoy the holiday with their friends and family and get stuffed. And I don't mean inappropriately. No, I had a great weekend. Some family members came down, although we had planned for a larger party, but due to certain circumstances, some of the family members had to pull out, but we still had a great time. Um, I got to get a little closer with my niece. She's about 8 months old, and I'm not around her as much as Nicole is, so she's very much familiar with Nicole. But with me, um, she had to get used to me a little bit. So and uh, and it's uh, and it's funny because I always play the race card when it comes to it, like when I'm with my extended family, and they're all cool about it. Like, like me and Nicole have been together forever, and I've known the family for so long now. So like they're used to it. Um, but some of the interactions I've had with my niece, uh, and actually, I don't know if I should say cousin-in-law, but yeah, there's a couple things that had happened that kind of uh that gave me fuel to bring up the race card again. So um so there's a photo. I'll make sure I put it in post. There's a photo of me and Nicole's cousin, and we're both sitting on the couch. Now, her cousin, Michael, his name is Michael. He's got some mental disabilities. He's autistic, so he's got his personality quirks and all that. But sweet boy nonetheless. But we're both just hanging out on the couch, and he just had this he just had this what's the word? He just felt like he had to just start stocking all these couch pillows on top of me. It's quite funny. Like, I just let him do his thing, and I was on my phone, and he just kept piling these pillows on top of me. And my sister-in-law was like, "Yeah, he's never done that before." And I'm just like, "Well, huh, no, I don't know how that makes me feel, but it was really funny. And then there was I don't know if it was like later on that day or whatever. I was playing with my niece, Cece, and but we're just playing with her. She had like this red plastic ball, and we're just playing with it, rolling it back and forth. And she's on all fours, and I rolled the ball to her, and and then I kind of like, I was just like rolling it back and forth, just trying to get her to engage with it and whatnot. So I pulled the ball back to me, and then I kind of pushed it back to her, just playing around. And she stops looking around. She just stares at me, and that was the thing. At the beginning of the holiday, she was grilling me hard, and I get it. Doing an ocular pat down, like, who's this dude? It's not my dad. Uh, but she was staring at me hard for like a few seconds, and then just suddenly started crying. And I literally didn't do anything. Like, I didn't make any faces. I just was staring at her. I mean, if I made a face, I was probably trying to like just make her laugh, but I don't think I even made a face. I just kind of stared back at her.
Hi, little girl.
Here, let me help you. I know, you're on threes now.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Oh. What's the matter?
Oh man. But you know, fortunately, as when we were coming back the next day, like, just keep spending more time with her, she started getting used to me, and now we're cool. I got a picture of me holding her because when I would just started holding her, she wasn't comfortable with it. So there's a picture of me holding her where she actually didn't cry, and I can tell you there's a series of pictures where she was not. She seemed to be okay in my arms. So I think it's safe to say that we're cool now. When she does see me, I get a little smile. She'll kind of grill me for a second, but yeah, we're things are looking up. So there was that. That was funny. Um, but yeah, it was a great weekend. Visited a couple of holiday markets that were going on, and then we had the fourth Friday art reception at Artworks, and I have two pieces. I mentioned in the last episode, I believe, but I have two pieces that are up for the Small Works exhibit, and it's basically art pieces that are no bigger than 5 by 5 inches. Um, and that was actually really neat. I didn't. I mean, you never know what to expect to see when you go to these exhibits, but I will say there's a lot of nice pieces there. There was another exhibit called the Mix, which was a mixed media art and collage exhibit, and that was really cool and interesting. So be on the lookout because there will be a vlog coming out soon for that. Um, but yeah, so um it was really exciting because I received another honorable mention for my Snake Plissken burger painting, which is a which is a dish from our local restaurant here. It's my, if not the favorite, it's one of my favorite burgers from this restaurant, Cobra Cabana. So shout out to Cobra Cabana. They have one of my illustrations displayed on their wall. But yeah, I received an honorable mention. This time when I did my little, not speech, but they always give the artist a moment to talk about their work, and this time I was a little more mentally prepared. I kind of had points that I wanted to just mention, so I made sure I wasn't too long-winded, and I didn't sweat as profusely as I did the first time, so that's a plus. But later on that night, uh, this is so embarrassing. So later on that night, we were looking at the mix exhibit, and they were going over the prize winners for that one. And one of my homies, recently newly friends. I don't know how to put it, but I'm a new friend that I had made. He came through, which was really exciting. So we're just kind of talking, and he wanted to see my work. So we we go to the exhibit, and I had my award envelope in my back pocket because that's usually the safest pocket out of all my pocket options. I didn't want to put it in either of my front pockets because I didn't want to wrinkle the card and whatnot. Because I had my wallet and my phone in those pockets, and I had a vest on. I didn't want to put it in those pockets because they're not very secure and they're small. So I usually, when in doubt, I just slip it in my ass pocket, and it must have fell out um while we were walking over to the room, the skylight gallery, which is where the Small Works exhibit is in. And yeah, it fucking slipped out of my pocket at some point, and I didn't realize till the very end when I went to go catch up with the family. And I was asking Nicole, I was like, shit, did you happen to see that an envelope on the ground? Because fucking lost lost my award. But they didn't see it. I asked the directors of the gallery if they happened to see anything on the ground. So um yeah, so they said they would write me up a new exhibit award card because that's what's in the envelope is, you know, um the card, and we were rewarded a nice little check. So I mean, I'm not so much concerned about the check, to be honest. I really wanted the card, honestly, because I don't know, it just for me, it kind of validated the award. Um, but yeah, so they said they would write me up a new one and all that. So I gotta touch base with them, and hopefully, hopefully like it won't be an inconvenience. Um, and if they write me another check, that's a plus. I really just want the card, the award card. But yeah, I feel like a fucking idiot. It's so embarrassing. Like I couldn't stop thinking about it all night. So yeah, that was Friday night. And yep. So then yeah, later on that weekend, did some perusing through the couple holiday markets. Got to network a little bit and talk to some of the vendors there and just get some insight on these particular events to see, how well they do generally. One day, one of these days I might be hopping on these events. Um, but yeah, overall it was a nice weekend with the family. We got to show uh our family members around that aren't from here, that came from Connecticut, showed them around a bit. So that was nice. And then I think we finished strong Saturday night. We went to a comedy show at the Sandman Comedy Club. Saw my homeboy Kevin Dombrowski. He's been on the podcast before. He was actually on earlier this year. I believe it was episode 117.
No, I'm that guy. If nothing feels better than when someone cuts you off and you catch up and they look over at you giving them the finger, it's so satisfying. And I turn into like an Indy 500 racer when someone cuts me off. Dude, I could just be completely relaxed and whatever. It's like 2 and 10 on the steering wheel, and I'm just weaving in and out of cars like a hot pursuit just to flip someone off. I'm a complete animal.
So you can check that out. And yeah, check out his comedy if you love stand-up comedy. Kevin Dombrowski. Uh, yeah, so that was in my opinion, that was a great way to finish the weekend. By that point, we were just pretty just exhausted doing all the family things and whatnot. And of course, you got your moments of stress and whatever, because you're just, well, I can't say for myself, but for my brother-in-law and sister-in-law that were hosting the dinner and everything, it was, things get stressful. So, um, but yeah, I thought it was just a great way to finish the weekend with some laughs, and yeah, so that was nice. Um, yeah. So again, I hope everyone else had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend, and yeah, now we got to start working off some of that weight that we gained from the turkey dinners and leftovers, and then get stuffed again for Christmas. Nah, I'm trying to be a little more self-conscious about my intake and not overdo it. And I think I did pretty well this year. I didn't overstuff myself. I mean, I was still bloated as fuck, but I mean, I've done worse in the past. So yeah, I think this was a good one. It was a good year. Yeah, so that's it. Now let's jump into this UFO talk because I got a few interesting articles that I save over time, because some of them may be uh interesting enough to talk about on the podcast. So yeah, we got this first article headline says partially cloaked UFO captured on security cam. Now, sometimes I kind of glimpse over these articles just to see if it's worth it. Some of these got videos. In this case, this one has a video, so I'm about to check it out real quick. I'll make sure I'll put the video in post. Let's see what this shit is all about. All right. Yeah, volume. Lower this volume. Let me hear this shit. I just want to see the video. Okay. See, I like it. I like seeing the stuff from different angles. So it kind of it's weird. It's like it looks like a space vessel of some sort, but but it's kind of like transparent. It's kind of uh hmm. You know, that's the thing about these CCTV footages, like they're not the greatest quality. So it's hard to tell whether or not like if the footage has been um messed with or anything. It kind of just hovers over like a cloud. I mean, it looks like a vessel, but again, the way it's kind of floating, I mean, I don't know. It's tough. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Leave your thoughts in the comments. But hey, I find all these things intriguing, whether they're fake or not. This one, it looks like a ship. It does look like a ship, like I guess a cloaked ship. But that's the thing. If it's cloaked, how the fuck would you even be able to see it? Oh, partially cloaked. My bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's real. I wouldn't be able to tell. I would have to like, I don't know. I just find it interesting. That's all. Uh, but yeah, this was what published. So some of these articles are a bit old. This was published October 17th. Um, yeah, it until we hear more about it in this, at least this particular one, it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of hard to tell if it's fake. I mean, I think a lot of people will say it's fake, you know, skeptics, but I don't know. I just think it's interesting. I'm not saying I believe it completely, but it is intriguing. I find a lot. I mean, shit, I watch ghost videos all the time and I find them super intriguing. So why wouldn't I find this the same? All right, not much there. Uh the next one is the alien. All right. So I saw this a couple of times. I didn't really read into it. I just saw the photo, but it's the alien riding in backseat of a car spotted on Google Earth. Now, let me read some of these parts from the article. So Crystal Patterson was using the app to see whether a garage sale would be taking place in Mapleton, Maine. And as she navigated to the address, she noticed something very peculiar in a car driving in the area. It seemed like the driver was naked, so she zoomed in on it to understand what exactly was going on, but it actually only made the scene more confusing. There was an extraterrestrial being getting driven around in the PT Cruiser. Yeah, I mean, in her defense, yeah, like I mean, if I saw this photo, I would definitely be like, yo, what's up with this driver? And like zoom in. And the driver does kind of look like they're nude. I don't know if it's a female or a male. The person looks like they got long hair. It's hard to tell if if they're completely naked. If any, like maybe they got one of those like what crop tops or whatever. But I kind of looks naked in there. It's tough to see from this angle. Uh, but there is a strange being in the back seat. The window's halfway open. Looks like it kind of looks like a mask, right? Like, because if it was an alien, all right, if it was an alien, like the window's halfway open. This is just where my brain goes. It's like it makes no sense, but this is the kind of shit that pops up in my head. All right, it's like all right, it's an alien. If it's an alien sitting in the back seat, why does the alien need the window open? Like it all, like in a way, like I would think maybe it was maybe like a little kid wearing an alien mask and they just stick their head out of the window, you know. Um, it's weird though. So and the picture's not great either, right? It's like one of those Google Maps, Google Earth pictures. Uh, I mean, I think a lot of UFO believers would love to believe in this, but I don't know, just because of the quality of the picture, it's hard to tell. I mean, you can kind of look at it and you can see sort of like distinctively like there you got these like what appears to be two eyes and maybe that's a mouth or something. So it's definitely strange looking, but I don't know. My mind trying to make logic out of this. It's like, all right, if it's an alien, why would it need the window open? Like, unless they, I don't know. It's like the breeze. Does it help them like in any way? I don't know. Like I'm thinking maybe the window's open because the person that's wearing the mask is just wants that breeze to come through because the mask is hot and they're all sweaty inside. I don't know. It's weird, right? I mean it's interesting. I'd say the most I'm more concerned about why this person it's hard to tell if there's two people in the front seat, but it's like yeah, they do appear to be naked, and if so, why? I mean, hey, teach their own, right? Drive naked, whatever, shirtless, bottomless, shoeless, like I know some people that just drive with their bare feet on long road trips. I've I myself I've driven with my shirt off once because it was like really fucking hot and I was sweaty, just drenched. So I've done that a couple times. I've never driven pantsless, but yeah, I don't know. It's this one's kind of weird too. Yeah. Moving on. uh, also, let me know in the comments moving forward. Like, let me know in the comments if you've seen these headlines on your social media feed. Um, yeah. Moving on. UFOs over San Antonio. Man records lights in sky. Experts weigh in. And let's see what the experts say, huh? Huh? With his cell phone pointed towards the sky, Dan Paul recorded something he couldn't explain twice. Oh shit. Project manager Dan Paul recorded the clips on his iPhone 13 in the Terramont neighborhood where he builds homes. The residential area is located on the far northwest side of Bexar County along Babcock Road. Okay. He says it just kind of went across the sky and then it drifted a little further above that house. And then it went up and disappeared. Um, so looks like we got a video here. The computer is running a bit slow. Okay, so let's see this video.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too.
All right, shut the fuck up, Ad. Let me see this video. All right, so we got blue sky. There's like a weird. It looks like a little like a light, or is that like what is it? Okay, so we got these two little specks, three specks, four, five. Are those birds or those? Huh? Is he trying to zoom in? Okay, those are birds. All right, but this light, there's like this tiny little light thing here, and it appears to be. It looks like it's like either getting brighter or bigger. Like it's like changing, like pulsating or something. Let's skim through. Okay, it looks like he zoomed out a little bit. All right, he zoomed in a little bit more. Yeah, it's like it definitely looks like like a shiny object in the sky. Like I can't tell again if the light is getting brighter, if it's like it's like glaring, or if the actual vessel is white. I don't know. Hmm. Anything else? Okay, so it looks like you zoomed in a little bit more. Yeah, what is that? Feels like sometimes, like during the day, right? Like like you can kind of see, like I guess it's like the moon a little bit, right? During a certain time of the day, you kind of see part of the moon. But this one's kind of weird. I don't know I really don't know how to describe it, but we got the video, so um yeah, and then okay, and then he shared a photo as well. And this one he's looking over the house. Oh, look at that. Beautiful rainbow. And then there's like you got these beautiful clouds. And then through the clouds you see this white object. Again, I don't know if that's light coming from that thing. I mean, it is kind of peculiar. Where's a quote here? It says, I thought it could be a drone, but I have no idea. I thought the photo was kind of interesting, he said. It is interesting. Uh, Initially, you establish a theory and then we try to go back and prove that theory. With the photo I got, since it was a bright sunny day and there was a rainbow over this beautiful house, the first thing I thought what we call a lens flare, said Jordan, who serves as the state director for MUFON. MUFON? Uh, Never heard of it. Then he moved on to the videos without any enhancement. He said he believed the bright light could be a diamond-shaped craft. And here's another quote. We went in and did some analysis, blew them up, pixelated them, cleaned them up a bit, and it was pretty obvious to me that they were mylar balloons, he said. Oh. What the hell is that? Mylar balloons? What is that? Let me Google that shit real quick. Oh, they're just regular foil. See, I am an idiot. I didn't even know what mylar balloons were.
Oh my god!
I figured in this context, like I thought like it was like a special, whatever. I'm a fucking idiot. uh, here's a second opinion. We also had an expert from San Antonio International Airport weigh in over email. A spokesperson agreed the object in the videos appeared to be a large. Okay, yeah. So here's how they came to their conclusion. It appears to rise in comparison to a bird that's seen flying in the same shot. That bird appears to be a turkey vulture, and the balloon looks to be about the same size. The object appears to spin, and the sun's reflection is visible. Mylar balloons tend to end up all over the place, from people taking them to cemeteries or using them for celebrations. They often blow away, and the object in the video appears to be one of them. Okay, so we give every case the same amount of due diligence because you never know what's going to turn up, he told Kens5, Kens5. I literally just read it, Kens. I would encourage everyone to keep looking up, and if you see something and you can't figure out what it is, try getting a video and send it to a research organization like MUFON. I might be saying that wrong too. So yeah, so let's see. Tools in our pockets. Cell phone users can soon submit sightings on a mobile app created by Enigma Labs. That's actually kind of cool that, I mean, you can, when in doubt, you can send it to someone and they can go over the data. We're getting UFO sightings to create a large database of historical sightings from around the world and gather new sightings that people start to submit, said Alejandro Rojas, head of research and content at Enigma Labs. We can first allow the public to be able to see where things are going, but also, and more importantly, allow scientists to do analysis of that data to figure out more about the phenomena. Rojas said the app will launch later this year, but you can submit sightings online right now. The questionnaire will ask for a location, date, notes, who witnessed the sight, and images. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that was becoming a thing. When uploading material, Rojas suggests submitting video in focus and, if possible, while stabilized on a tripod. As for notes, be as detailed as possible and talk over the video clip. Yeah, I'm not going to read this whole thing. That's pretty cool. All right, so I guess they kind of debunked the footage and the photo. I thought it looked like it was shining, like glaring. So I guess that's because of the mylar and the sun hitting it and all that. Mylar. I you know, I can feel it. I can feel it already that someone will, you know, one of you tuning in probably be like, "Gee, you fucking idiot," because I did not realize what mylar balloons were. Yeah, I mean, I guess we got to be aware of that because, you know, people like to bring balloons to, you know, to special events and stuff like that. So, and they do tend to get loose and just keep rising up to the sky. And you know, you never know when someone on the other side is like, "What is that shit up there? Is that a fucking alien?" But yeah. Anyway, moving on. I got one last one here. Oh damn! I just realized I forgot to hit my timer. This might be a short episode because I have no idea. I have no idea how long I've been recording so far. Fuck it. Transmedium UFO photographed submerged in Lake Titicaca. Is that how you say it? Titicaca? Or is it Titicasa? No, it doesn't have that little line under the sea. Titicaca? Titicaca? Hold on. I don't want to be disrespectful. You know, Lake Titicaca. Let's see how this shit is actually pronounced. Pronunciation. How do you say it? Let me hear the audio. Hey.
Lake Titicaca.
Okay, I was right. I was right to assume. Titicaca. All right. Cool. They got it. Actually, there's a video. Is this an actual video or just a video for the article? All right, let's read a little bit of this. So, multiple witnesses in Bolivia claim to have seen a UFO descend from the sky and submerge into Lake Titicaca before bursting out of the water and departing the scene. Okay. According to a local media report, a very weird case occurred earlier this month in an unnamed community near the site, which serves as a border between the country and Peru. Several residents say that the peculiar sighting began when they first spotted a puzzling object hovering overhead. To their profound surprise, the UFO suddenly dropped from the sky and sank into the waters of Lake Titicaca. One quick thinking witness managed to snap a photograph. Okay, it's a photograph then. A photograph of the object while it was submerged. Although the image is decidedly hard to decipher, it would. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. I guess you gotta get it real quick, just get a photo. But I don't know, man. I'm like video. It would seem that the oddity did not remain underwater for very long, as witnesses contend that after a short period of time, the curious craft shot out of the lake and subsequently flew off back into space. What exactly the object could have been is a mystery, although those who saw the UFO believe that it may have been extraterrestrial in nature. Alas, with the craft having come and gone, their account is largely all that remains of the strange incident, along with the aforementioned ambiguous photo. The case will no doubt intrigue UFO enthusiasts who have long suspected that some of these crafts are transmedium vehicles that can travel in both air and water. With that in mind, what do you think the witnesses saw as well as photographed? So yeah, that's a good question. Let's see this photo.
Por esta conmoción en un pueblo de Bolivia, donde
I don't understand. Okay, let's lower this volume. I just want to see. Oh, okay. So, do they have a couple? So we got a photo here, photo there. Or is this? Are they just showing other shit?
antes dicen que
Hmm. Um. I mean, are we gonna see the thing in the water? Do they have a shot of that? Oh, really? It's just more sky photos. So the first, okay. So there's a photo here of the water. I guess that you can. It definitely looks like there's something in the water, but what is it? Uh, I mean, it's odd looking, that's for sure. But maybe it's like yeah, I don't know, because there's like this area in the bottom left corner. It's like the lighter part of this thing. Kind of looks like it could be a turtle, like a tortoise, maybe. It's hard to fucking tell, but like this large part of it looks like it could be its body, the shell, and it's got this one thing kind of like looks like it could be the head, but then you got these other odd oblong shapes around it that are slightly darker than what I'm talking the thing that I'm talking about. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, it's definitely intriguing for sure. What is it? What are you? Hmm. Yeah. Let's see some other photos. What do we got here? Okay, that looks like a flying saucer. Maybe it's a drone. It's like a disc shape though. Do they make drones like that? Usually, I feel like right. I mean, I'm really out of the loop with this shit, but I feel like you can almost easily identify drones. Like they all kind of have the same build, with all the little propellers and all that. And there's this other photo here. It's pretty intriguing. That definitely looks like a saucer. It was at the sun right there. And you got these three, looks like saucers, really. The shit's definitely intriguing. I mean, especially all the shit we've seen, with the pilots seeing like the objects on their gear and their equipment. But who was it? There was a pilot, a military pilot that was on Joe Rogan. Uh, don't want to say recently, but he was on like a while ago. He was on and they were talking about, all these sightings, and he had said that ever since their technology advanced, like once they upgrade their equipment and everything, they started seeing more sightings. So I guess because of that, because of the upgrades, it just allowed them to be able to see more in the skies, so, or on their radars. So I don't know, like I'm like trying to think of, a coherent uh, statement, but it's like, yeah, it kind of makes sense as technology is advancing. You'd be more exposed to being able to see more shit clearly. I don't know. I like to. Sometimes I'm a skeptic. Sometimes I like to believe. Try to stay in the middle as much as I can. That way I'm not completely shocked when it goes one way or the other. Um, so yeah, then the question is like whether they're coming from space or from a different time. See, I'm more intrigued on that, like, like time traveling basically. Or not even, maybe not even that. Like maybe they're coming from underwater. Like, why would we like not that we have to put our focus on that, but it's like, why isn't that part of the question? Right? Because like it's I think we all know like we don't have the technology to be able to go as deep below as we'd like to. Like, there's all those crazy deep sea creatures. They're like transparent looking. They almost look alien. They're like the aliens of the sea. So I've always wondered like why couldn't we invest on underwater technology? Because if like the Air Force, um aviator technology is advancing, like why can't we advance? Well, I'm sure they are, I just don't know. But I just imagine like why can't we invest as much in the skies, not disguise, but the sky, right? Why can't we also invest in like what's underwater? Like there's just so like I'm so torn about like this stuff because it's like, man, like we find, as time goes on, we find out so much like amazing things about the history of our planet, the history of our species, other species. Like there's so much crazy shit to discover right here, and we invest so much on like what's out there, out in space. Trying to freaking bring people to Mars and all this shit. It's like, dude, like I don't know, like I don't want to get all like philosophical or whatever. Go to like I don't want to get all like woo, woo woo as Joe Rogan would say. But I don't know. I just feel like if we were more in tuned with our planet, like, we, I don't know. I believe I mean, we do, but like, I don't know. I just find it I find it a little more fascinating discovering things about like what's on our planet, what's underneath the surface, what's underneath the deep sea. Um, but the idea of UFOs coming from the water, like I find that very intriguing. And I know I like said something about that with I think I was talking to Rick Man on an old episode, and yeah, like I just don't know why we don't, like more people speculate like, hey, these vessels are coming from underwater, underground. Um, so yeah, and I don't know, now I'm even more uh enthusiastic about that idea because especially after watching this Netflix series, Ancient Apocalypse with Graham Hancock, because like they're just talking about these amazing sites like the temples and all this stuff and these amazing structures and like things that look like nature kind of just made it happen, but then you find out it's like it wasn't necessarily nature. Like you just find more about the history of like these different parts of the land all over the world. And it's just, I just find it truly fascinating. Like, if you're into that kind of stuff, like archaeology and all that, definitely check out Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix, because it's cool. Like, they talk about Olympus. No, not Olympus. I'm sorry. Oh geez, what's the underwater world? Jesus Christ, it's gonna slip. It's like, I feel it's at the tip of my tongue. Atlantis. Woo! Didn't have to cue in the music. Atlantis. They, because like we always want, like, man, how are all these like how do we have all these like underwater cities, right? And you gotta think, the water, fucking thousands, hundreds and thousands of years ago, the water was never this high. So and then they kind of show you on the show, like when you bring the water levels down back in like fucking, I don't know, 1200 BC or some shit. And it's like, oh yeah, like, there were civilizations then, and surely enough, they built these structures and built these, these places. And it's just it's mind-boggling, because it's like you look at them now and it's like, how the fuck, like the pyramids, like the Great Pyramids, it's like, how the fuck did you pull this off without advanced technology? And now we're they're looking at what do they call it, ancient technology. And it's just, I don't know, I just find it fascinating. I would never think today like how intrigued I'd be with like archaeology and all that. So yeah, Ancient Apocalypse, check it out. But going back to aliens, I kind of had this weird idea. And it's like, what if, right? Because we've seen all sorts of sightings. We've seen all these like flying saucers, UFOs in different shapes and sizes, moving in different speeds and patterns. Like, they're all quite different, like each one. It's like, right, it's kind of sort of rare you see the same type of sighting in other countries or other regions, right? Like the same type of vessels or same shaped vessels of the UFO, whatever. So I was thinking, what if all these different UFOs that people are seeing all around the world, what if all the different UFOs were just different versions of the human species, depending on which form of technology they evolved and integrated with? Like, like right now AI is rising. We got AI creations, AI robots and all that. But so that's one example. Or with like neurotechnology, space or deep sea technology, like like what if like these different UFOs are just the extensions of the human race, but from like different times, maybe like different dimensions or whatever. But it's like, if we're seeing a lot of these like flying saucers, like, all right, maybe maybe the race then, the species from their origin, mastered the flight, and they can just go out in space and all that and visit different planets. Or maybe well, I guess you got the transmedium UFOs, right? So you can do air to water. But like maybe maybe stuff that people, the UFOs that people are seeing that are coming in and out of the water, like maybe that's the human species that moved forward and advanced with deep sea technology. And because like I mean I always listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. They always talk about like the aliens, right? We always think of the typical alien that's like white, tiny, huge head, big eyes, small mouth, small nose. Like they're all like little bitches, just little weaklings looking things, but their heads are huge. So maybe everything's all neural. So like maybe that the alien species that we always think of is of like maybe that's us, right? That thing that's like Joe Rogan always like speculated, and I'm kind of on board with that thinking. Like maybe that is us way in the future when we've already integrated with neuroscience and technology. Things are becoming more what's the word? Like you got Elon Musk working on the Neuralink, so everything can be communicated with our minds. So like maybe that conventional alien look, maybe that's us when when we've sort of I don't want to say mastered the neuroscience, but you know what I mean. So that's what I was thinking. Like maybe these different types of UFOs, these different types of vessels and everything, maybe they're just different. Like they're just different human species that are just highly advanced, and maybe the reason why they're like maybe the reason why we're seeing them, like we're seeing them around in the skies and shit, like maybe they're visiting sort of whether you want to call it time travel or whatever, but maybe they're coming back to our time to see where we're at, so they can be like, I don't know if they're just probing us and they're like just making sure we don't fucking blow up the planet. I don't know. Like that's the thing. Like maybe these aliens are still, maybe like I guess in their time, maybe they're still inhabiting planet Earth. Maybe not. Who knows? Who fucking knows? But that's just like my theory. Like I think maybe they're checking in and probing us to see where we're at. With our technology, they're just trying to see like, oh, like, okay, in this timeline, the human species is going towards this type of science, this type of technology, and they're just kind of monitoring us and making sure we don't fucking go completely AWOL and just fucking destroy ourselves. I know it sounds crazy, but there's crazier shit happening right now. So I don't know, I just thought that was really interesting, and please, I would love to hear your thoughts on that. I would like to think there might be at least one person that half agrees with me. But I don't know. I was thinking about it for a while. I'm like, man, like that would be kind of cool. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, like and not just probing us, like not just keeping an eye on us, but like maybe they'll intervene when they see really bad warning signs. Maybe they're popping up now because yeah, I don't know, like we got fucking World War III happening right now with Russia and Ukraine. So when shit starts getting nuclear, I mean, yeah, maybe that's why they're showing up now. They're like, ah, shit, man, the species is getting a little closer to that button to fucking just start nuking countries, right? So, yeah, I don't know. That's gotta be an intriguing thought, no? Yeah. Again, leave a comment. Leave a comment. I would love to discuss it a little further. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I got for the UFO talk. I didn't hit my timer, so I have no idea what this runtime is. I feel like we hit a decent length. So yeah, with that being said, let me just share something inspirational before I close this episode. And what I would like to share is a quote from Jack Cornfield, which I believe this quote is rather is perfect for this episode because of what we're talking about. And Jack Cornfield says, next time you feel overwhelmed by the world, remember to tend to the garden you can touch. It is through this small oasis where real and lasting change is born. Right? Think about that. Think about it. You know what? I'll read it one more time. Next time you feel overwhelmed by the world, remember to tend to the garden you can touch. It is through this small oasis where real and lasting change is born. All right. So, yes, I'm kind of like thinking about the UFOs and all this shit and archaeology. I'm like kind of just all over the place with this topic, but it's important to really just, worry and focus on the things that I can actually attend to, things that I actually have in control of my hands. And I believe it would be wise if you would do the same. Now, of course, to each their own. You don't have to listen to me, but I would think that it'd be wise to do just that. Just worry about the things you can handle and manage. Yeah. So, that being said, stay safe, stay healthy, and question everything.